Okay, good morning. We're on today's daf. I try to stay ahead, but I've been delinquent in that. But we have one of the most famous stories in the Chazal. We're on Avodah Zarah Chaf Daled Amud Aleph. That's 24a, and hopefully we'll do the whole daf in this one video, but it might take two videos because it's a little bit longer. But since it's a story and it's a lot of Agadata, it might be a little bit easier. So the end of our last daf, the Gemara was questioning this whole question as to whether or not you could buy the paraduma, you could buy a red heifer from a pagan. And the Gemara says, in discussing this issue, it says, "V'amar of Yehuda, Amar Shmuel Sh'alus Rabbi Eliezer Heichan Kibbud Avim." Rabbi Yehuda asked the name of Shmuel. Did they ask Rabbi Eliezer, how far does the mitzvah of Kibbud Avim, of honoring the father and mother, go? So Rabbi Eliezer answered, "Amar lahem Zuru ma'asa akum echad la'aviv Ashkelon v'Dama ben Nesina shmai." So he said, go look what one pagan did for his father in Ashkelon, the town on the sea, and in the Holy Land, in Gaza area, near Gaza. The name of this pagan was Dama ben Nesina. So the high priest had to wear a breastplate that had 12 precious stones on it, special stones, certain stones. And this Dama ben Nesina happened to be a jeweler, and he had the stones that they needed for the ephod, for the high priest's breastplate. B'shishim ribay sachar. They wanted to pay him something that he would make a profit of 600,000 denarius. Rav Kahana masning b'shmoinim ribay. Rav Kahana said it was 800,000. What happened? So he's going to make a lot of money, millions of dollars. A denarius, I think, in the average worker's wage in ancient Rome for the year was a denarius, something like that. It was a lot of money, tremendous amount of money. The keys to the chest where he kept these gems was under his father's pillow, and he didn't want to bother his father. The Yerushalmi in Peah discusses the story of Dama ben Nesina, of how far he went to honor his father, to the point where it was idolatrous, that he engaged in ancestor worship after his father passed away. Not saying that that's a good thing, but it's just demonstrating the extent to which his devotion to his father was. Avnei shoyim hifsika inyan. So the thing is that when it comes to buying these stones, they're asking, we're not talking yet about the paraduma, we're talking in when in Exodus 25:7, it says that they should have these precious stones, shoham, this one type of stone. It does not say ve'avnei shoham, it says avnei shoham. It doesn't say and shoham stones, it just says shoham stones. It shows it's a separate idea. And so therefore, those stones, unlike other materials, could be bought from a pagan. But then it says and stones for the settings, and it has the word and to connect it. The vav, it connotes the word and, A-N-D. So it shows it is together. So Va'oid katani sefer l'shana cheres nodla paraduma be'edroi nichnasu chacham Yisrael Eitzel lahem yudeani bechem shimani mevakish mikem kol moment sheba'olam atem noisen li ach shaveni mevakish mikem ela oitzi moment shefadati b'shvil Abba. So then the story goes that in the merit of his mitzvah of kibbud av v'eim, even though he's not obligated, it's not one of the 7 laws of Noah, but he was given a reward from heaven that a paraduma was born in his herd of cattle. And so when the sages came to buy the paraduma, he says, I know I could ask all the money in the world for this paraduma, for the red heifer, but all I'm going to ask is whatever I lost because I didn't sell you these stones. Whatever money, whatever profit I lost on account of my father, is still a lot of money. So then the question is, so could he buy it from a pagan? And says, "V'hosamali they tagar Yisrael zavan." So the answer is that they used as somewhat of a subterfuge legally. Is that they had a Jewish merchant buy the cow from Dama ben Nesina, and then the temple bought the cow from the Jew and not from Dama ben Nesina. The Satmar Rav has very interesting Dvar Torah about this question of buying the paraduma from a pagan in Parshas Parah and Divrei Yol, but we're not going to talk about that now. We don't have time. Eliezer lechayish leviya v'sanya mul Eliezer ma'aser lekachum min ha'akam v'dama shmoi. V'amri la ramat shmoi. Question is, what about this question of doesn't Rabbi Eliezer worry about buying a paraduma from a pagan because he might have engaged in bestiality with it? And the Brisa says that they said to Rabbi Eliezer, there's a story that they took. They bought the red heifer from a pagan. His name was Dama, and a different version was that his name was Ramatz. Maybe it was more than once. In the second temple, there was several red heifers. In the first temple, there was none. They just had, still from Moses, they kept adding water. It was just made before the tabernacle was made, and it lasted all the way till the destruction of the temple. So Rabbi Eliezer says that there's no proof about this because Jews, when they heard there was a red heifer born, they had watchers, they had mashgichim, rabbis sitting there watching, make sure that nothing happened to the paraduma, not just that it wasn't used for a sin like that, but even other things that are allowed to be done with other animals being used for work, which you're not allowed to do with a paraduma, had to be in order to understand with the paraduma. Eliezer Tarta Islay Kicha v'chayish namilavia. And Eliezer says there's 2 issues. One is that when it says Kicha, you're supposed to buy it from a Jew. It says L'kachtem in Israel, like we discussed yesterday. And also there's a worry of it being used for a sin. So, but both things can be done. One is that Jews watch it and make sure that it's fit to be the paraduma. And second of all, if we buy it from we can have Jews buy it from the pagan, and then the Jews would sell it to the temple. Amar Mar Yisrael Hayim Hashamin Oisam Yishashanolda V'neichush Dilma Rove Le'ima Ki Hava Ma'abra Adama Rava Vlada Negachas Esura Hi Vlada Gonchu Vlada Nirbas Esura Hi Vlada Nirbu. The question is, what about the mother of the red heifer? Aren't we worried that maybe the mother was sodomized while the mother was pregnant with the cow, with the calf? Because if a cow is pregnant and gores someone, kills them, it's forbidden. The baby that's born is forbidden because she was involved. She was there when it happened, and so too with bestiality. She was there when it happened. If the mother was pregnant with her at the time, and Misrael so it could be that they even watched the mother from the point when she was when she got pregnant. But according to Eliezer, even before the mother was pregnant, it could be an issue. According to the Chachamim, it's not an issue as long as she wasn't pregnant at the time. According to Eliezer, it is a problem. Dama, Rav Nachman, but that we can understand Rav according to Eliezer, because we're talking about being brought in the temple as a sacrifice. So Rav said in the name of Nachman that it's only an issue if the mother cow was designated as kodesh, as kachim, as a sacrifice. But if it was still, if it wasn't sanctified yet, so then everyone agrees that it's okay and it's kosher. It's permitted to be brought for a sacrifice. Rav Huna bar Chinana Amar Rav Nachman Machlekes Kshenir B'Kshen Chulin Kshen Mukdashin Dever Kolasurin Michael Meimer. But some say it the opposite. That there's not that it's permitted if something happened before it was sanctified, but just the opposite. There's a machlokes if the sin was committed before the animal was sanctified. But then everyone agrees. But if once it was consecrated, then everyone agrees it's prohibited. So what's the difference between these two? Maybe we had mashgichim even watching the mother from when the mother was conceived. What about the grandmother? We don't worry about a cow's grandmother like that. That's going too far. You're being too frum. Now, the thing is, it's very rare to have a red heifer. Why would you assume that the mother was watched? Because we didn't know until it was born it was going to be a red heifer, so why would they be watching the mother? So this is, in accordance to like the story with Jacob with the sheep. They made the mother cow look at something red before she gets pregnant, and then she can have red babies. So Gemara says, then why is a red heifer so expensive? If you could why don't we just do that all the time? Make the cows look at red stuff, and they can have red babies. Because not every, you can have a cow that's totally red, but it might have 2 white hairs, and then it's no good. So that's what makes it so expensive. It's not so easy to imagine the two. So why would we give a red liquid to a pagan's cow? Why not to a Jew's cow? So Rav Kahana Muchzekes. So he said this is specifically a herd that has previously made red cows, so it has a genetic predisposition to make red cows. And so this one, like, they made it look at something red to make it even more red. The Ramban in the Geras HaKodesh says that our thoughts have effect on our offspring, particularly at the time when the husband and wife are together, both for animals and for us, for human beings as well. Whatever thoughts you have at the time of the mitzvah will have an impact on the children, and that's something that's generally discussed in Kabbalistic literature. Whether it's scientifically true or not, I don't know. But this is what the the tradition says. Yosef Rabbi Ami Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha killed Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha. Ami and Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha was sitting on Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha's porch. Pasachad Minayev Amar V'chein Hay Rabbi Eliezer Poisam Chol Kabodas Kulan. So one of them said that's why Rabbi Eliezer said you could never buy animals for sacrifices from a pagan. Pasach Vidach Minayev Amar Mayosivu Le Chavroihi Rabbi Eliezer. So what did they answer Rabbi Eliezer when they said no you could? Well, the Bible says in Isaiah 60, as we said before, that all the flocks of Kedar will be brought to you and put on the altar so pagan animals can be brought as sacrifices. So what does Rabbi Eliezer answer? So Rabbi Eliezer says that no, when Mashiach comes, they're all going to convert to Judaism, and so therefore, the whole world is going to be Jewish when the Messiah comes. It's machlokes, and so therefore, some people say that this passage is talking about they're not really going to convert. It's the whole discussion, but I don't see from this passage that it says that whether or not they're going to be accepted or not. Here it's from this passage it seems, even though the translation here is saying that they're not going to be accepted, I think we can read this out to say that they're all going to actually convert. Some of Yosef, my Krokios, and there are different opinions, obviously. Amr of Yosef, my Krokios, Epre Chalamem, Safavura. Where do we know, Rav Yosef asks, that in the end times everyone's going to convert to Judaism? So in Zephaniah, Tzefaniah 3:9, it says, then I will turn around to the peoples with a clear language, meaning that, and everyone will worship the Lord. So Amalei Abaya Dilma Me Akamhu Dahar Bahu. So Rabbi said to Rav Yosef, maybe they're only gonna give up idolatry and be Noahides or whatever, or just become monotheists, which much of the world has already accepted, but maybe they might still engage in things like bestiality or whatever. So Amalei Rav Yosef Lavle B'Shchem Echad Ksiv. Rav Yosef says no, they're going to serve God with one shoulder. Means all together. Which means they're not only going to keep the 7 laws of Noah, they're going to keep all of Torah. So Rav Papa Masnei Hachi, Rav Zvid Masnei Hachi. Rav Papa taught like this, but Rav Zvid taught differently. So Vayar Mevichin Higher Rav Eliezer Poisam Cholak Kabbanis. They both said Rav Eliezer would disqualify animals purchased from idol worshippers for all of the offerings. So Vayar Amrei Umayu Sivu Le Chavroihi Rav Eliezer called Sankedi Kapsulach. So they both agreed with Rabbi Eliezer that Rabbi Eliezer held that that you cannot accept sacrifices from pagans, and when the Bible says that that everyone answered to Rabbi Eliezer, all the flocks of Kedar are going to be brought to you. So Rabbi Eliezer answered, they're all going to convert to Judaism when in the end. Because it says then I'm going to turn to the nations with a clear language to call everyone in the name of the Lord. So the difference is that was it a buyer of Yosef that Yosef said that they're only going to repent from idolatry, but they might still do other sins. Rabbi is the one who said, no, they're all going to keep the whole Torah. But they challenged Rabbi Eliezer, how is he only saying in the future when the Messiah comes that everyone's going to convert to Judaism? Moses said to Pharaoh, you're going to give us sacrifices to offer to the Lord our God. So, and for the Gemara, couldn't Matan Torah shiny. Before the Torah was given, it was a different law. Tashma, listen to this. But Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses, took burnt offerings and sacrifices for God. So, and Jethro, he brought the animals with him before he converted. These were animals he had before, probably. Yisr nami koydem matan Torah hava. You could say Jethro, this story when he brought sacrifices was before the Torah was given. So, Hanich lamanda amar Yisr koydem matan Torah hava, lamanda amar Yisr lacha matan Torah ma'ik lameimar, ala Yisr Yisrael zavan. We say there's no chronological order in the Torah and Muktim and Mukha b'Torah. So it could be that Jethro only came after the Torah was given. If it was before the Torah was given, we have our answer. But according to the opinion that Jethro arrived after the Torah, what was the answer? So Rabbi Eliezer could say that he didn't bring his own animals; he bought them from Jews and sacrificed them. So we did one Amud, and I think we're going to have to end here for now. And make another video for Amud Beis. So this was 24a. Alright, thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment. All the best.